Okay, so what I was playing around with for the front cover, I decided I wanted to add a book plate. So I kind of jumped the gun when I started gluing things on the inside. So I was lucky enough that I could peel my envelope back and put my little brads through the cover. And all I did was use my awl. I laid my book plate down onto the cover like so, marked it with my pen, removed my book plate, and punched the holes through the book cover front, and then put the brads in. I always add a little bit of glue when I put the brads in, and I'm just going to cover these up with a little tiny piece of masking tape so that it doesn't poke through my envelope, and then I will glue my envelope back down. So don't glue your insides yet until you decide. I always try and finish my outsides. I guess I just kind of rushed it today, but I normally finish the outside of my book first and then work on the insides. See, you need to have better planning. There you go. So the envelope is now down again. So there's my front cover. So I'm trying to decide between the little chickadees on a fence, or I'm kind of liking these little guys. So I might do these. So I'm just going to trim them up. Just give me a second. Just take a little bit off of each side. Let's see. And then that, I like that one better. This kind of goes with the blue. Chickadees are cute. I'll use them for something else. So I'm going to go ahead and glue this guy down. And I wanted the book plate so that I knew that this was for my meeting book, my meeting laptop book. So I wanted to put a little label in there showing that it was the meeting book. And we're just going to center, eyeball it and center it there. So there is my book plate's a little crooked. Good enough. So that will be my little meeting laptop book. I'm going to put some eyelets in. This is going to be my inside. This will have my monthly calendars on it. We're going to open it up. This will have my things to do list. This will include my little envelope here. I've gone and created this little, I like to reinforce the bottom so I don't stick my pen through it when I'm in a rush. So I'm just going to put a little tiny staple, 2 little staples on the bottom to hold it. And then I will grab my pen. Sorry, there's so much stuff on my desk. And that just slides in like so. So this will now get glued down to here. And I'm going to make sure there's a lot of glue right down the center, because when you put your pen in, it kind of rolls a little bit. So lots of glue, especially on the ends. And we're going to put this little guy in here. So that will hold my pen. Like so. That. So we're gonna let that guy dry, and that will hold my pen inside there. So this side is done. We can add a little sticker or something onto this. Let's see what I have in here. I got some little flowery things. You can add a little flower or something to the ends of this. Put some stickers or something on the envelope. Just kind of pretty it up a little bit. We can distress the edges. I'll cut off the word crocuses because I know what they are. And I'll just distress the edges a tiny bit to make them stand out against that white envelope. Like so, and then we'll just put that on there, and that will give it a little more interest. And I will put a label on, I believe, here for index cards. So we've got that little guy on there, and you can even put a little sticker on here, say Post-it notes. And that will open up. We'll have our pen, your business cards or your nameplate, your stickers, and then we're going to put some eyelets in here. I'm going to move that. So those are those. That's done. So let's mark our eyelets. I have a little chalk pencil that I like to use, and I'm probably going to put 2 in here. So I'm going to just kind of eyeball it, but I want them to be even. And again, right about there and there. We'll make sure when we line them up that they're straight. Okay, this one's a little too far out. Nice thing about chalk pencil is you can erase it. Okay, let's get our big shot. And we're going to punch some holes into this. Make sure they're somewhat even. So there's my 2 holes for my eyelets on the bottom. I'm going to flip it around and put my lid on my distress ink, or I'll stick my book in it. I know I will. And then we're going to do the same thing for this side. We're going to punch our holes. One. And it's fairly close together, so we'll do 2. Okay, and then I'm just going to flip it over and I'm going to trim some of this material away with my little flat scissors here. You don't really need to because the eyelet will cover it, but let's just trim it a small amount. Alright, good. And now we need our eyelets, and they are in which drawer? This one. Now, what color of eyelets do we want to do? I think I'm going to go with the darker ones, only because silver or black? Black. I don't have any brass ones, so I'm going with black. So you want 4 of these. And then we want the little, these come with these little circles for the back. It kind of holds it in a little better. Okay, so this is the front, so the eyelet goes in this way. Through the hole, like so. Great. Pull the guns off. And then we're going to punch, turn that to our punch, and we're going to make sure we're on the right. That's that one. Okay. So the little flat piece goes in the machine on the bottom, like so there. Just going to turn this over. And we're going to set this inside the machine, making sure we don't touch that bottom piece. And crunch. There we go. And then we'll do this one. Put that little bottom ring in there. Make sure I'm in screen here. And we're gonna punch that bottom one. And there we go. There's the 2 bottom eyelets in. Okay. So now we're gonna do the same for the top. Put these little guys in. Get in there. There we go. 1. try and push any of the loose fabrics in as well. And turn it around like that. I'm going to put my little bottom ring in to the bottom piece, like so. Hold it up so that it doesn't touch that bottom ring because you don't want it to move. And then push. Last one. And there you go. So we have our eyelets in, nice and neat and tidy. Move those out of the way. So this will close up like so. This will close up like so. And I just have to decide on a closure. Now I can punch a hole here and have an elastic to hold it closed. And I think that's what I'm going to do. I find the ties are kind of cumbersome. So a nice elastic to go around it to hold it closed would be perfect. So let's grab one more eyelet. There, and then you've got little circles. There's one. We'll close that, put that away. And so then we're going to punch, and again, I'm going to use my chalk pencil to kind of find the center of this. So it's about right about there. And let's say that's about the center-ish. Everything's center-ish. Okay, so we're going to open this little guy up so we don't catch anything. And we're going to go ahead and put it back to punch. And we're going to punch right in the middle of this book. And that's the nice thing about this big crocodile is that you can get these far away, hard to reach holes. Like so. I'm going to put our eyelet in there. And our little bottom ring goes back in here. Turn it to punch. Right. Now this will be the tricky part, making sure that it does not touch that bottom ring. We got to hold it up. You don't want it to touch that bottom piece. And I hope it didn't. It felt like it did. Nope. There we go. And I did not trim off that fabric, and I should have probably, because it's showing in the hole a bit, but that's okay. I can work with that. Let's give it a nice gut punch. So there we go. Here's my knot book, like so. And I've got my elastic. And I will probably use either the black, and I also have a white. I think I'm going to use the white just because it won't take away from the picture on the front. So all I do is hold my elastic there, like so, wrap it around, like so, cut. I'm going to tie a knot in the end. And you want to make sure that knot is as close to the end as possible. Ah, my thumb is cracked. And you want to give it a really good pull. Make it tight. And I normally will get my lighter and I will burn those edges so that they don't fray. But you're going to open up your journal. You're going to take the loop end and you're going to push it through your eyelet. Like that. Pull it. So you have a knot there, and again you'll burn those ends so that they don't fray, and then you just can close your laptop there. Like so. So that's basically it. I'm going to turn off the camera and clean off my desktop and then just see what else. I'll see if I can print off those calendars. I'll burn the ends of this and print off my things to do. So that'll all be together, and then we'll work on this last envelope, and then that will be the end. Oh, and I have to put my elastic here. So we want, almost forgot my elastic here. You want to go in and out and in and out, like so. And again, you want to leave a little bit so that you can tie a knot. So let's do that. So you want it taut, but not too taut. You want to pull it a little bit more just to make it tighter. You want to feel a snap, but you don't want to be pulling too hard. Okay. So now we're going to tie a knot in our elastic. Good. Right. You don't want to pull it too tight because you want to make sure this piece is taut as well. So then you want to pull it up and you want to push it in toward the center and make that knot nice and tight. So there's my 2 elastics again. You pull this so that it's tight. You're going to cut off any excess and you'll burn this one as well. And I normally leave the knot at the bottom so it doesn't interfere with the book, and I'll cut this off a little bit more. I don't need that much showing. You only need a little tiny bit showing because you're going to burn the ends to hold on to it. So there. So this will hold now a little insert. Do I have anything small enough? I'll just use this. So this will hold my little inserts like so. So when I close up the book, the inserts will be on the inside here. So you have enough room in there for my inserts. So I'm going to create 2 inserts as well. So that's something else that we'll do as well. And that's in the center of the 2, so it won't interfere with that. Okay, so let me go ahead and print off the calendars and the things to do, and we'll finish this little puppy up. Okay, let's see how far we've gotten. So I've added the meetings journal, a little tab inside my book plate. We have my elastic on there. I've gone ahead and printed January and February for 2020. And I will print out the whole year and just have those set aside. And I will try and put at least 3, I think, in here at one time. And then I have my 2020 yearly calendar to look at, so that's my reference to go by. Then on the inside, I have my post-it notes that you can take off so that you can get at your business card or your name card here. And I'll just put that back on. And then this is my pen holder. And I will insert my pen here. So I will have a pen here handy when needed for the meetings. I have some Velcro on this little envelope, and this will be for receipts and or stickers. And it does have the little fold here because I had to pull it up to put my book plate on. So remember, finish the outside first. We have my 2 elastics for inserts that I'm just going to create. I did add the little circles. They're a little large, but I went with what I had. And I've got some index cards in here for my meetings, and I've added a little tab here that says index cards, and then we just tighten that up like that. I did go ahead and print off some things to do lists. I have a couple here that I can use if I have to do something after the meeting or before the meeting. At least I have that done. And again, I will have this sitting out on the desk, and I will take out the inserts. Now I've also used the lighter on the ends of my elastics to stop them from fraying, so they've been done. And now what I'm doing is creating some inserts for in here with some writing paper so that I can take those out and write notes for the meetings. So I've gone ahead and all I've done is measured. I hold the book closed and I measure. So I want it to be about 4 1/4. And I want to measure from the top and bottom of the eyelets. So about a 6 1/2 inch book is what I want. So I've gone ahead and I've taken a piece of scrapbooking paper and I cut it to 10 1/2 because I want to make a 4 inch pocket. So that's my 6 1/2 plus the 4 inches for the pocket. And then I made it 8 1/2 and then I folded it to get my 4 1/4. So there is my insert. So currently I am just going to glue these pockets closed. And make sure I'm in frame here. Glue these pockets closed. hold it for a second and I'll glue this one closed. I just find right where it's folds, it doesn't grab the glue as quickly. So there's my first one, and that will go in there. Let's glue the second pocket closed. There we go. I'll get this one. So there's my two journal covers, and then I sometimes will just print lined paper. I have it set up in my computer that I can print on an 8.5 by 11 some lined paper, and then I'll trim it to size and it'll fit in here. Or you can take an already purchased notebook that has signatures. You have to look on the end to see that it has those little loops where it shows the different signatures, and you can just cut this apart and use it inside your journal, or you can just buy a book and actually insert in the journal, but I like to create my own. So I am going to just rip this book apart like I did the other one. The very first page is always glued to the end cover, so you need to pull that in. There we go. And then we just pull this one off like so. Do the same to the other side. I just get these at the dollar store. And pull it apart. And then I go by each signature. And you can tell when the signature ends because it's glued to the next one. I'm just going to pull that like so. And then I do take my knife and cut it because these are sewn in and they do have little threads. So I just kind of run my blade down along there as I'm pulling and pull it apart and cut those threads. Or you can go into the center here and you'll see the threads and you can just cut those. There's little threads here, and that's the center of the signature. And I will usually, when I'm sewing this into one of my little covers, I'll try and reuse the holes that are already there. So the first page is usually the worst, so I just pull it off. And then I will actually insert this into my little notebook, and I will turn it over. I don't want the larger side, or if you do, if you want to do it that way, but I usually flip it over. And I just pull it down about 1/8 of an inch from the top, so there's a little space there. Hold it like that. Move that guy out of the way, and that guy out of the way. Take these guys off. And then I will just quickly mark, really lightly, a pencil mark here, so I know how big my book is. So then when I go to cut my book paper, I'm going to go 1/8 of an inch inside this little pencil mark so that it will be inside the book by 1/8 of an inch. So I just eyeball it. And this knife might not be the sharpest. Should probably change my blade when I cut my paper. And then my pencil mark is on this line here. So I'm actually going to just go into the center of the two lines and cut there. And again, just with a sharp knife and a ruler. Like so. And then this will fit inside my little notebook perfectly. And so I have some paper there for journaling for each meeting, each month. When I go to the executive meeting, because I'm on the board, and then the general meeting, and I just take some notes. And I can make this a little thicker. I can add another signature in there as well. And so the other way you can find your signature is just to go in this way. There's your center, and there's your little threads. And you can just usually cut them away from myself. Cut those little threads like so. Find the end of your signature, which is the 2 pages that are glued together somewhat like that. And then you're just going to pull it apart. And I always find the first page has got glue or whatever stuck to it, so I always pull that page off. And I save it because I will use that for making tags. I will cut that. I use that for my little file. These are the end pages, and I will just cut those and use those for inside here. So I save all my little bits and pieces and use those for something else. So there again is another insert for one of my little journals. 1/8 of an inch down. Let's remove those clips so they're not in the way. Pencil line. Pencil line gives me an approximate as to where I want to cut. And I'll save these as well in case I want to use them for tags. Sometimes they're too thin and I throw them away. And then again, you want to do 1/8 of an inch on the inside of the pencil line. Like so. Those are the way. And I'm just going to go up 1/8 of an inch so in the bottom line. Cut that off. And that will go in like so. So there are my 2 inserts. I'm going to go ahead and use the dots that are already there as my holes, punching with my awl. I'll use this one because it's thinner. And then I will sew that together. And those will be my 2 inserts that will go inside my notebook like so. Anyway, they're not sewn together, so I don't want to rip them. Alright, and that will go in like this one. We'll go in here. Like so. And they will go in the center. So I want to close this one up. And they will go in the center like that. And then I will put my elastic around. They can go inside. They will fit inside the other booklets if you want to. But that is my little meeting journal, lap book journal that I will take to my meetings, and I'll have everything that I need right at my fingertips. My calendars, things to do, pen, post-it notes, my business card for receipts or stickers or whatever, and my index cards. And that's for when I go to the meeting. And I will take these out when I'm at the meeting and actually write in them flat on the desk. So there you go. There is a quick little lap book. You can make it larger. You can use 2 larger books. I'm sure there's a lot. You've seen all the different videos for the different lap books. But that one I just want because I can throw it in my bag and take it with me, and it's a good size. Well, thanks so much for joining me. I'm glad I got the tutorial in, and I will be working on a few other projects, and I'll hopefully see you soon. Thanks for watching.